Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first official TMC podcast. I am your host and fellow baseball analysis person, Colin Buchanan. I'm here with my two good friends.
My name's Ted.
My name's Matt.
And today we are going to be talking about baseball so far for the first 2 weeks of the season. A lot has happened, a lot has not happened yet, but we're only just going to talk about the first 2 weeks. But gentlemen, the one thing I really want to get into first is, of course, the A's. As we all know, they are leaving Oakland to go to Las Vegas, but they're building a 30,000-seat stadium first. So in the meantime, they're going to Sacramento. Now, gentlemen, how do we feel about this? Should they trademark the city name with the team name with it, or should they just go buy something else? The floor is yours.
I mean, I wish it was all up to us, the baseball fans, but unfortunately, it's a business just like anything else. I mean, we all love baseball. It's all bigger than life to us, but at the end of the day, these owners, it's just business. That's all it is. Oakland's a dying market. Fans aren't feeding money into the organization, and quite honestly, they don't even want to be there anymore. So, as badly as we all want them to stay in Oakland, Oakland's got a rich history with the Athletics, but it ain't fucking happening. That's as simple as it gets. It ain't happening.
I don't really got too much to add. I pretty much agree with what Ted said. It's just unfortunate. Like you said, it's all about the money, the business. That's what the owners care about these days. The majority of the owners in baseball, it's just a business to them, as Ted said. And
I mean, like, to add off of that, I mean, I feel like there's just two polar opposite ends of baseball. There's the emotional, heart-filled fan side, and then there's the complete heartless business side, and there's absolutely no middle ground. It's just, It's either you love the game the way it is, and no matter what, or you say, fuck how everybody feels, and it's all about the money and how business is booming. And quite honestly, John Fisher don't give a fuck about any single person who's a fan of the Athletics. He don't care.
So, going by what both of you said, do you blame more of MLB, or do you blame more of the team itself and the ownership?
the ownership, 100%.
I got an interesting one. As bad as I feel for the Athletics fans, and nobody's saying this, it's their fucking fault. Why is this? Why? I understand the team's bad. I understand the front office trades away every single good player they have, but you want the team to stay so bad, the stadium can't be empty every night. Why the hell would they stay? How many people were in attendance for opening day? Less than 10,000, I think.
It was 13,000.
That's brutal. That's brutal. There's minor league games that have more fans than that. That's brutal. That's terrible. That's a major league team that has won more than one World Series. And you mean to tell me that they got nobody in the seats? I understand the stadium shit, the team shit, but why do you think they can't build another stadium? Where's the money?
Well, getting into that, you got to realize something. The Golden State Warriors, which I've been there myself. I've been in Oakland. I've been in that exact same parking lot where the Athletics play, and I'm a Warriors fan. But when they moved to San Francisco, now the Oracle Arena is available. That parking lot is huge, but the problem is it's only one way. It's one way in, one way out. But if you really wanted, if the ownership and the city was really committed on getting this franchise to stay, tear down the Coliseum, build a smaller stadium, do 30 to 40,000 people, and there you go. Because you're losing lost seats and you're losing something that has been historical and has been something for over 60 years, but it's better than having to move to a 50,000 less seat stadium and temporarily using a AAA team, which I don't even know how they're going to manage to do that.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're going to Sacramento. How many A's fans live in Sacramento?
They've actually what's actually really funny is I was listening to a podcast the other day, and someone who lives in Sacramento actually said that even though that Sacramento and Oakland is like 40 miles from each other, they're the closest thing we have to baseball. So
yeah, because I was about to say I'm not a geography guy.
I mean, when you really think about it too, you have San Francisco Giants fans, and you also have the organization with the Giants in which it's in Sacramento. So there could be a little rivalry that you could have in between during that time. Honestly, what I think they should do is they should start it now. They should do a construction on getting seats in the outfield. because you can't. I'm sorry, but you cannot have a stadium in which when you hit a home run, that you have fans running to go find it.
I mean, you make a good point, but also like, again, like I hate this part of baseball. I absolutely hate the business aspect of baseball. But financially, especially for a team like the A's, it makes absolutely no sense to pour any money into the Sacramento idea. They're only going to be there for, is it 2 or 3 years? 3?
2, right?
3?
3.
It's 3 years. So, yeah, I mean, financially, I mean, how much, it would probably cost a couple $100,000 for the organization to put some seats out there.
I think it's only 2 years. I think they're going to be in Vegas by 28. So I think it's
No, it's 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. So yeah, they have, I mean, I don't know.
5, 6. Yeah.
Again, they're very cheap. We already know they don't spend money on anything. Nothing on stadiums, nothing on players, nothing.
Do I know was the last time the Coliseum was upgraded for baseball reasons?
I'm gonna
2014. That was 10 years.
And it's still that bad? What could they have possibly done 10 years ago?
What I saw, I think it was they did something with the sewage.
And it's still a problem. Wasn't it? I think
it was during the Yankee game.
No, it was like a couple years ago. I don't know if it was this decade or like 2019, but there was like in the middle of a game, like the whole stadium started to smell like shit, and like all like the little sewer grates was just like shit water just coming right through it.
Yep.
It's really sad what's become of that team. They had such a good core, man. They just traded everybody.
But the saddest part is they've had more than one good core.
Over the last
last 10 years, they've had 3 of them.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you would you rather edition. Would you rather have the White Sox rebuild team that they did or the A's rebuild that they constructed?
A's.
So, which was Chris Bassett, Sean Manaea,
Chris Bassett, Sean Manaea, Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Sean Murphy.
all those guys.
Half a season of Starling Marte, but that didn't count.
Let me ask you a question. If the A's actually had money and they kept that team.
I think that's the purpose of going to Vegas. They're going to have money now.
But let me ask you a question. If you include the guys they have now, Ryan Nada, Zach Galoff, do you think that this team would be in contention for at least a championship series?
Fuck no.
No, with the team that they constructed beforehand.
You mean if they still had Matt Olson, Matt Chapman?
Yeah.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, if you have Matt Olson and Matt Chapman at the corners, Shea Langoliers back behind the plate, Sean Murphy DHing up the middle. Who'd be your shortstop? Geloff would play second.
Marcus Semien.
No, he would have left. He was a free agent. He was a free agent, so he would have left.
Oh wait, so you're going based off the 2020 team?
I'm going based off of guys that wouldn't have been a free
Oh wait, no,
agent
you're going based off the 2019.
How about Matt Olson?
No, I'm going based off the last core of guys who wouldn't have been free agents.
Yeah, the last core team. Yeah, and Marcus Semien was part of that 2019 wildcard team.
Yeah, he was, but he would have hit free agency already.
How about Matt Olson? He would have hit free agency, right?
What year did he come up? 17? 18?
I think 7. I think he had one more. When did he get traded to the Braves? 22 was his first year there? I think his contract was up after that first year. So
let me look. I thought there was 2 more years left.
Maybe there was 2. Maybe it was after last year.
So, yeah.
Either way, it's just... It's mind-boggling. However, and it's heartless for Oakland, period. And A's current A's fans. For the future of the organization's sake, as much as I hate to say this, they're doing the right thing. The A's, for the first time of our lives, we're going to see the A's throw somebody a 10-year contract. And then by the time they move to Vegas, by 2030, somebody's going to be signed to a long-term deal.
Zach Galoff gets a 10-year.
No, I mean, like, they're going to be able to go after free agents.
When you really think about it, how funny is this?
18 was his first full year. So
how funny is this, though? One of the other smallest market teams in the Tampa Bay Rays. But they actually did something. Because they actually were winning. There's a difference.
They focus on baseball.
But who did they give the only 10 or more year contract to?
Child creditor number 1.
Wander Franco. So when it comes to something like that, you have to be sure. I get it. Wander Franco was going to be... He is, in my opinion, Jackson Holliday of now.
That's what I said this morning.
But we will get into Jackson Holliday next. So, when you really think about it, Jackson Holliday is replacing Wander Franco, in which we were supposed to have Wander Franco.
I mean, they're pretty much the same archetype, yeah. But no, when I meant the A's are going to offer contracts, is I mean, when guys go to free agency, Like, who's going to be a free agent at the end of the decade? Think about guys who came up this
Zach
year.
Geloff.
This year, guys like this year and last year. Zach Geloff's probably not going to.
Francisco
Logan
Alvarez.
Davidson.
Yeah, you start to think about guys like Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, guys who could possibly have free agency by 2029, 2030.
Oh.
The A's, when they're in Vegas, you don't think the Las Vegas A's are going to be able to say, fuck it, here's a 10-year, $300 million?
Let me ask you a
don't think they're
question.
going to do that? Because I do.
Now, as a designer person, I love when it comes to rebrands and designing stuff. My opinion, they should keep the name. They should keep the
They better
logo.
keep the name.
But instead of like just having the secondary logo be like A's, do an LV, but in the font of what the A's logo is, like what the A's have.
I mean,
And
I'm not
then
going to lie.
and keep the colors.
Here's the thing, right? So when it comes to like rebrands, like think about teams that have moved but kept the names. The colors, one thing changes, like the font and like and like all the logos and stuff change, and the colors stay the same, or the colors change and everything else stays the same. I'm not gonna dive too deep into it. I'm not gonna spin my wheels. We have no control over it, and there's absolutely nothing to base it off of.
I
But
really wish there was a competition for it, because I would so win.
but,
Do it, A's. Do it. All right. So now we got into that discussion because that was something I was really holding off on. But now we're going to get into the biggest story that happened last night. Mr. Jackson Holliday, the number one prospect in baseball, finally gets his called up to the majors. As we know, he was the 2022 first overall pick by the Baltimore Orioles. He is the son of Matt Holliday, who is a Rockies legend. And he will be playing second base in his debut, and he will be batting ninth. Gentlemen, how do you feel that the transition of Jackson Holliday, and how is he going to be how is his impact going to be with the Orioles now?
From when he got drafted last year, he went in one season from A to AA to AAA, and he held his own every single league. I think he's going to do just fine. I don't know how much of the power he's going to lean into right away.
I think he's going to be more of a contact hitter.
I think he's going to come up. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to help this team, this young core. It's an exciting time in Birdland, man.
So,
what I think is interesting with Jackson Holliday, right? So when he got drafted, I remember seeing, some stuff about on MLB Network. He was very skinny. If you look at him now, he's put on, I want to say, probably looks like 20 pounds.
now,
But I think about, my opinion on him is, Jackson Holliday is not your archetype of a guy who's going to pop you 40, but he's also not going to be the type of guy who's going to be your little IKF kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I just think he's a pure hitter. I think he can hit any pitch in any count. I think he gives pitchers migraines when he's up there. I think he's good in any spot in the lineup. But my favorite part about what's going on with the Orioles right now is there's not that much pressure on him. Yeah, the team's trying to compete, but if he's sucking, he's not going to play every day. Guess what? Someone like Jordan Westbrook could play second. Gunnar Henderson can shift over and play second. They can put Mateo at short. He can go play third. Kobe Mayo can get called up tomorrow. There's just so much that can go on. There's not a crazy amount of pressure. It's not like he's coming up and he has to play every single day.
out of all those players, who do you think actually does have the most pressure?
Of everybody on the Orioles right now or in the minors right now?
For the Orioles.
Majors and minors. Young guys.
No, just majors.
Adley Rutschman, he's the face of the team. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Is Burns under contract?
Till this year, yep. Free agent this offseason.
I think he's under the most pressure.
I think he is because if you look at the Orioles staff, they all produce well. Like, think about it.
But when you're
Kyle Bradish had a great year last year. Grayson Rodriguez was he, the number one pitching prospect when he got called up? Yep. I mean, but he's got time this season.
Yeah, but he had like a 5 ERA.
Yeah, that's the point I'm getting into. Corbin Burns does have a lot of pressure because there's no like established like star pitcher in there. It's just like a bunch of guys who've put up good numbers in the past. The Orioles finally got themselves like a frontline pitcher who's gonna like every time he goes onto the mound, everybody's expecting to win. So I mean, yeah, there is pressure on him, and plus he wants to earn his money.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna get into a little bit of kind of like a question type thing. Do you think that Jackson Holliday will have the impact that his father did for the franchise he played for?
I don't know, man. I think this is a completely different situation than that Rockies team. I think there's so many players in that young core. there's a lot of players that are going to have an impact on that team. I don't know if he's going to be the one that stands out from all the others. I think it's going to be a team effort. Like, you got Adley, Gunner, a lot of young talent.
And there's more to come, right?
Way more. Heston Kierstead, Kobe Mayo. That team is just stacked. It's disgusting.
I mean, it's hard to say because, like, when it comes to baseball, a team like the Orioles, who has, like, literally just a laundry list of prospects, like, way too many to even make a lineup out of, it's hard to say that one guy is going to impact that much. But at the same token, in baseball, it's the same thing. You could have one guy can make no difference at all, but one guy can make a break on an organization. That's what it is. He might be the reason why they win 2 or 3 World Series. He might be the reason why they don't win anything.
So if he does have that type of an impact, would you say that even if he does something like that, would it be more accomplishing than what his father did with the Rockies, even though his father only had 1 World Series appearance?
It's hard to say because think about it like this. The number 1, number 2 prospects in baseball, guys like that, that means what? Are they a future MVP, a future perennial MVP, future Hall of Famer, future 3-4-time All-Star, future guy with a good 3-4 years in his prime, or just a solid everyday guy? Is Jackson Holliday going to be the 2-3-4 hitter on the team who's going to hit 300 every year? Or is he just going to be there and just be a good spot filler? Is he going to be like a solid everyday player? Or is he going to be the best hitter in the lineup? You don't know. My only concern with the Orioles is, especially right now, most of their talent comes from the left-handed side of the plate. They just have way too much of an influence.
I was actually going to say, I feel like they are in a situation with Atlanta where they have so much young talent or talent on that team that they have to decide on who they're going to sign, who is going to get that long-term deal. So when you think about it, I mean, eventually they're going to have to do Rutschman. Eventually they're going to have to do Holliday. Eventually they're going to have to do Mountcastle.
Well, I mean, with a guy like Holliday, you never know. What if he comes up and he doesn't produce for 4 years? We've seen it. We've seen top prospect. Think about it like this. Remember Jerickson Profar when we were kids? Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be the shit. And now he's barely 30 years old, barely stringing along on a roster.
You want to know something pretty funny? Do you want to know who's back with the Padres organization that was part of that Snell trade? Luis Patino.
I saw that.
So he was the centerpiece of that trade going to Tampa, but injuries derailed him, and now he's back with the team that he sent from. So,
I feel like all those trades from the period of 2019 to 2020, very early 2021, have just been completely worthless.
Or lopsided.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, completely lopsided. Think of the Mookie Betts trade. As of today, that is the worst trade of all time. Of all fucking time.
So, now that we've got into 2 of the bigger topics of the story, now we're going to get into the season. As we all know, tomorrow will mark 2 weeks of the season. Our teams, personally, have been doing roughly okay. I think
it's literally 1, 2, 3. Your team is one of the best teams in baseball. My team's middle of the pack, and your team fucking sucks.
Can I say something? Brian Cashman, please use your brain and sign Juan Soto to the biggest contract in sports history. I don't care if you have to rob a bank. Give him his money. I have to say that.
Before we get into this, I just want to say, before everyone starts hating on the Mets, I was ready to jump off a fucking bridge after the first 5 games of the season, to be honest with you. I thought it was done. I thought everything was over. I've actually seen, this team's kind of exactly what I expected. I think they're going to hover right around 500. They've played better in their last 6 games. They're 4-2 over their last 6. Their offense is finally coming around. Their pitching has been better than I thought. Really, there's no shocker to me. Like, they're kind of doing exactly what I expected. It's a long season.
And I could say exactly the same. The Cubs are exactly what I expected. The offense, I like it. Starting pitching, it's okay. It's okay. The bullpen, a fucking train wreck. Fucking train wreck. But you know what? It's what I walked into. I knew it was going to be a problem, and honestly, I'm not too angry with the Cubs right now. I enjoy watching them every night.
So, you, my friend, have to owe me an apology. Because
for literally what?
For you underestimating my statement when it came to the Brewers.
We're 10 games in. There's 150 left. I'm not apologizing
for anything.
So what? I'm not apologizing for anything.
Still what it is.
No, I'm not apologizing for anything.
An apology for hyping up the Marlins.
Yeah, for hyping up the Marlins. That's what you owe everybody an apology for. They're 1-11 right now.
But don't you think that's because of the teams they versed already?
No, I think the Marlins fucking suck. I'm gonna level with you. They're fucking overrated.
You want to know something pretty funny? I actually hold on. What are their hitting stats? Hold on.
Not good. Not good.
Did you see that stat
at
with
all.
Stanton?
Yeah, Stanton's the home run leader since 2017, and he's literally hasn't played for the Marlins since.
Well, that's because of Jeter. You blame Jeter for that. He didn't want to sign power players.
It's not all Jeter's fault. You can't blame
All
Jeter.
those home runs in the same
You can blame the entire scouting department. You can blame every single person in the front office. You can blame anybody who's putting their brains together on some of these trades. It's brutal. They haven't brought up any hitting talent in years.
The good
when
news
was the last time we saw the Marlins bring up a hitting prospect who came up and was really good?
Christian Yelich.
He wasn't really that good for the Marlins.
I can't think of one.
He was a good player. He wasn't great.
Stanton.
I got it. Isan Diaz.
Jesus Christ.
I remember when
He
he
didn't
made his
even come up with
debut.
the Marlins. He came up with the Brewers, and then they traded him to the Marlins.
No, that's right.
Yeah, he did.
But his first home run was at Citi Field.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then he crashed out after that. Look how that worked out for him.
By the way, the Marlins.
Go figure.
so here's the funny thing. The Marlins are 29th in batting average. They're 30th on.
I'm guessing the Mets are 30th, right, in batting average?
Oh god.
Wait. But it gets better. They're 30th on base percentage.
Oh.
They're 30th in slugging percentage, but they're 23rd in runs.
Who leads that team in home runs right now?
Jesus.
Is it?
Wait. I want to see what their
That's crazy.
They have one quality start in 12 games. How's that possible?
So you mean to tell me you predicted this team to be good, and literally it's not just like, oh, the offense isn't hitting, oh, the starting pitch, they fucking suck all around. There's been nothing to watch with the Marlins. There's been absolutely nothing to see there.
I thought the Mets were going down that road too. I'm happy they somewhat.
I
got
mean,
it together.
I had a little bit more faith in that, but what the fuck is this?
Some of the games, man, those Mets lost. Oh my god, I wanted to rip my hair out.
Yeah, I kind of
Ridiculous.
remember just scrolling through like Instagram and Snapchat and seeing a bunch of my friends just be like, "I fucking hate you," but it was like Brandon Nimmo, or it was like Joey Wendell or something, or it was like a picture of Carlos Mendoza and be like, "You need to be fucking fired and sent out of the state."
I don't like Mendoza at all so far. I know it's early. I don't like his managing decisions early on.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of agree too. Mets are a little bit of a weird one this year. I feel like they're in this weird spot because this is like we talked about before. This is the same, at least offensively, pretty much the same team that won 100 games.
Hey,
Again, you're
they beat the
subtracting
Braves.
Scherzer, DeGrom, and Chris Bassett with the pitching, but the offense is pretty much the same.
In every game we won, like there hasn't been one stress-free game for me. It's been chaos every
like
game.
the other night when they beat the
That
Braves.
was
Didn't you
crazy.
guys win like 8-7 or something like that?
Yeah, dude. Even the last out, like I thought it was gone. I don't know if you saw that catch Tyrone Taylor made in the ninth.
Oh yeah, no, I
thought
did
for
see
sure
that.
That ball was
Yeah,
gone. Too.
I mean, but no, I guess the Mets are a pretty confusing one.
Then
I mean,
Travis d'Arnaud and Jared Kelleniger do up. I'm like, yeah, one of these guys.
Okay, so the worst start. I mean, even though it's only 25, even though it's 12 games, but I have the 1995 Marlins started 5-20, and they finished 67-76. So I think that was the lockout year.
Not gonna lie to you, dude. I have no faith in that team.
But I mean, listen,
You had
it's
them finishing in third
it's
place.
still early.
You had him finishing above the Mets and almost in the playoffs. Or did you have him in the third wild card spot?
No, that was the Brewers, and I'm still holding on to that. Now, let's
Better
get
than
into
Marlins.
at least some positive.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's get into some positive here because we're gonna go with the flow. Surprising teams this year.
I mean, let's start off with the Pirates.
Pirates look great.
I'm telling you right now, this is going to be exactly no. I disagree with you because David Bednar needs to not close games anymore. Three blown saves in 12 games.
I think that's a little bit of an overreaction.
He's
I mean,
been
how many?
great for like 2-3 years.
I know he's been an All-Star once, but I don't know if it was twice. But this guy's one of the best closers in the game, and he's had 4 save opportunities. I mean, yeah, 1 for 4 in save opportunities is brutal. But again, it's April. There's guys. Look at Lindor. Look at who else is starting the season off
Name the whole
complete
Mets lineup.
complete shit. Yeah, I mean, like this is what happens in April. Some guys start off extremely hot. Some guys play like absolute donkey shit. But despite the fact that the Pirates have one of the best closers in the game who has blown 3 saves, they're still on top of that division right now.
So
they've been winning ball games.
So
I was
so
very
the
low
stats
on
so
the
far
Pirates.
this
I'm
year.
impressed.
But but also at the same token, the Pirates did the exact same thing last year. And then they locked up Brian Reynolds, and it was like pretty much right after that, they just went in the toilet.
They were like 20-10 or some shit last year, right?
Yeah. So some of the
9-3
stats from this season so far, they're tied for 4th with runs. They're 5th in batting average. They're 4th in on-base percentage, and they're 11th in slugging percentage. I mean, with the lineup that they have constructed, they got Ryan Tellez to play first. I feel like they just got guys that
Who have they played so far?
they've played. I got it. They've played. They split the Marlins.
Okay, that's easy.
They took 2 out of the 3 from Washington. They took
2 out of 3 from Baltimore. I do remember
Okay,
that.
and then they split against Detroit. So, I mean, when you really think about it, if let's just say hypothetically we're at the end of June, and they have the division lead by 3 games. I mean, would you start considering them as a team to be a trade target for them and like get players? Or would they be considered? Or say hypothetically,
I mean, think about it like this: when it comes to trade season, anybody who's pretty much within 5 games of a playoff spot, period, is a buyer. Look at the Angels last year. The Angels were buyers at the trade deadline. I mean, I mean, go figure. Go look how that worked. But
we were on the train heading to the Yankee game. No, on our way home from the Yankee game, and we saw the trade for Lucas Giolito to the Angels, and we were like, "No way! This is gonna be such a huge help for."
And look how that worked.
And look how
it worked. But I mean, again, I think it's always fun and interesting to see teams like start off hot like the Pirates, but I just don't know how much stock you can really put into that. Like, again, this happened last year, but the Pirates have played 12 games.
I can say they
legitimately have to play 150 more. Do you think the Pirates are that good to be this consistent through 150 more games?
No.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they might be interesting. I think they might do something like the Reds did last year, win 80 games, close to 80 games. They're not going to do this shit all year.
So, one of the
I don't think so.
Other teams that has been surprising has been the Tigers. They are actually winners. No, the next team I actually talk about. The Tigers, who are 7-4 in the year, but they are one of the bottom feeders in hitting.
Mm-hmm.
It will pick up eventually, only because it's early in the season. But one thing is for sure, I think the pitching has been doing very relatively good. Like, look, the ERA is 6th in the league. Their quality starts, that's going to increase. Their WHIP is 7th, and their batting average against teams is almost at a 2, which is 4th in the league.
I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, I'm looking right now. The Tigers are literally 26th in the league in runs scored. I mean,
I think that.
Go figure. I mean, it does help that they do play in the worst division of baseball. I'm not gonna lie, but to a 7-4 start with that kind of roster and they're not even hitting, surprising. And it's awesome to see.
You hit the nail on the head with your Javi Baez take. He's still absolute garbage.
Still fucking sucks. We'll go figure that he's fat, he can't hit, and he's lazy. He refuses to improve. Who cares? Let him pay him. I don't care.
Let me ask you a question. Would you trade him for a single-A player?
Nobody's taking that contract at all. If he gets moved, it'll be like a waiver thing.
Imagine
Nobody's
the Dodgers get him on
taking that.
waivers and he becomes like an MVP. Can't?
I mean, isn't that what happens? If you go anywhere but the Mets.
Speaking of like players being moved and stuff, do you know who the Long Island Ducks just signed?
I just saw this. I just can't remember.
Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, I saw JBJ. Yep, there it is. He's done though.
Do you want to know who actually? Me and my grandfather, we went to a Long Island Ducks game. Do you know who actually was on that team?
Daniel Murphy.
Yes, but Starlin Castro.
Oh, you know why he's out of the league though? Well, A, he fucking sucks.
How do you think Baez would do with the Long Island Ducks?
He'll probably hit like 350.
Probably the same. I mean, no, I think Baez's issue isn't because his swing is terrible. I don't think he's terrible at baseball. I just think that he's just so ignorant. Like, again, Javi Baez was my favorite baseball player for years. He's pretty much the reason why I'm a Cubs fan. But he's just so ignorant, bro. I mean, what kind of pitcher can look at a guy like Javi Baez and watch him literally swing at anything and be like, yeah, I'm going to throw him strikes? No, you're not going to throw him strikes. You're going to throw sliders in the dirt and fastballs at his eyes, and he's going to swing at every single one of them, and he's not going to do anything with any of them. That's how it works. He's not going to do any good anywhere. If I were to face Javi Baez, I'd probably strike him out. Because guess what I would do? I'd throw 4 pitches in the dirt, and he'd probably swing at 3 of them.
He'll be out of the league after this contract, guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be older, too.
How many years does he have left?
He's played 1, 2. This is year 3, so
It was a 6-year deal.
After this year, 3 more.
3. Okay.
So 3, pretty much 4, but after this year, 3.
So I actually was going to get into the Kansas City Royals, but then I looked upon one of the other teams in the AL Central. The Minnesota Twins, right now, I feel like are very confusing to me.
Extremely.
Well, here's the thing. Last night, Tyler Glasnow threw career high 14 strikeouts, and they beat them 6-3. How is that even possible?
A team like the Twins is very weird.
But here's the thing. Do you want to hear something pretty funny? They're 29th in runs. They're 30th in batting average. They're 27th in on-base percentage. And they're 29th in slugging percentage.
That's terrible. I'm going to be honest.
And can I just say something, too?
They're 12th in strikeouts. So
I
they're
will
about
say
middle of the
something.
pack.
I think Royce Lewis is more cursed with injuries than Byron Buxton.
I mean, I think and this is very off topic, but it's weird. Is it a Royce Lewis and Byron Buxton injury problem? Or is it the Minnesota Twins can't fucking train their players to be in shape? I mean, because Royce Lewis has been, since he's gotten drafted, he's torn his ACL twice. He's hurt right now.
He broke his wrist.
He broke his wrist. So he's gotten, I mean, I forgot what it was for breaking his wrist. That might have been a freak accident. You can't blame anybody for a freak accident like that. But Byron Buxton gets hurt legitimately every year. Year.
What I saw from a video about him was that he was sacrificing his body, like to make great catches, because they wanted to see him in action for what he really does. But I mean, listen, it's early. I mean, look, 6 to 8 weeks, that gets you to what? End of June?
But also when you think about a guy like Buxton, look at him like this, right? Byron isn't like, when you're just looking at him, he's not a freak. He's not 6'8", he's not 6'9", he's not 250 pounds, right? So it makes sense why he's fast and why he can move that way. It also makes sense why you would break bones doing stuff like leaping and jumping and sprinting at like, what's his max sprint speed, like 21 miles an hour around the base. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it isn't like Byron Buxton is the prototypical injury-prone player. He's a very fast defensive first player who's got some sort of pop that he's developed. But when he was coming up, he was supposed to be a 5'2" guy. He cannot stay on the field. I don't know if that's his body's failing him. I don't know if the Twins training staff is just stupid. I don't know what it is. I mean, we've honestly been robbed as baseball fans, because if Byron Buxton, he stayed healthy. I'm talking about in general, just through his whole career. He probably would have been a 3-4-time All-Star by now. I'm not saying he would have been the best player in the league, but he definitely would have been up there in the top 3 center fielders in the game probably since 17 or 18.
Speaking of 5-tool players, man, just for all the people that ranked Mike Trout 19th, Mike Trout's still a dog. I know it's early in the season. He could probably still get hurt. We've seen it before with him, but...
Yo, if you put Mike Trout outside of your top 10, fuck you. That's how I feel.
Mike Trout, man. What a start to the season.
That's our GOAT, bro. That's the GOAT of our last generation. But the sad part is where he's at. I mean, go look at him. He has 6 home runs, and I think, oh god, I don't even want to look at his RBI total. Oh, he has 6 home runs and 8 RBIs.
What's his average at? 3?
He's hitting 318 with
his
an
OPS
1195. 1195 OPS. He has 6 homers. How do you have 6 homers in this many games and only 8 RBIs? Because your fucking team sucks.
Trevor Story did something like that when he came up.
How you rank 19th?
Nah, he had some offense behind him though.
Yeah. So the next team I actually want to get into, and then after that we're going to get into another topic. Kansas City Royals, 5 straight wins. Is this something that's going to be looming going forward? Are we going to start seeing who the Royals really are going to be this season? Or is this just a little streak thing that's just happening?
It's just a streak, man. They're coming to Citi Field this weekend, so Mets are going to stomp all over them. 3-game sweep.
I think it's kind of interesting with them because they have a bunch of guys who are hitting right now, but X factor on Vinny Pasquantino, he's hitting 108.
I dropped him on my fantasy team.
But I mean, look, they all haven't gotten going yet. So Cole Reagan's threw a gem his last start. What was it?
I feel like every game I've seen so far, Reagan's has at least thrown. How many starts does he have already? Is it 3 or 4?
Probably somewhere. I'm looking right now, but it can't be too high. Holy shit, it's 3. Yeah, he started 3 games already. But it looks like he's just at the front end of the rotation. I mean, there's 4 of the guys with 2 starts.
And I know Brady Singer had a really good start. I think at his first start, I think he had like 8 strikeouts, right?
Yeah. I mean,
how's South Lugo doing with them so far?
Let's take a look. I mean, oh shit, my bad. We're just pulling up the stats here. Seth Lugo's got a .71 ERA in 2 starts.
What about one thing I actually do want to look at? I actually want to look at their bullpen. They have good quality guys. They got the closer from the Red Sox. They got Will Smith. They got Nick Anderson. But also their starting pitching's been dirty. I mean, Brady Singer and Seth Lugo both have under 1 ERAs right now. So here's their pitching stats. They're 4th in ERA, which is a 2.55. They have 8 quality starts, which is 1st in the league. So think about that. 8 quality starts in how many games they played? 11? Is it 11 games or 12 games?
They probably played
It's 11 games.
But you want to know the most interesting part about this? And we're going to talk about the pitching stuff later. Mm-hmm. They're 22nd in the league in strikeouts for pitching. So they're not dominating by just like overpowering these guys. They're not really striking out that many guys. They're just fucking people up by just weak contact. Yeah. That's what it is.
MJ Melendez looking good early on too.
I haven't looked at any.
What's crazy is that he actually hits better against left-handers than right-handers.
Salvi's.
I feel like MJ
Sal Perez just hit a walk-off. I think it was a hit.
I know Sal Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez, and Nelson Velasquez are hitting over 300.
They're hitting good.
So they have 2 pitchers with a sub-1 ERA, which is nuts. They have 4 pitchers with a sub-3 ERA.
No, it's pretty crazy too.
And they have 4 guys batting over 320. That's ridiculous to start the season. But again, you can't really overreact on how it, like we said, it hasn't even been 2
Somehow
weeks.
the Mets are leading the National League in ERA.
Like think about this. They have John Schaubler. Did I say his name right? Schleber. They have John Schleber, who they got from the Red Sox.
Oh, Scribner. Yeah. Oh, I know him. Yeah.
Chris Stratton's
pretty
Nick
good.
Anderson, and Will Smith.
It just sounds like they got good depth.
They have good pitching depth. Like, I'll give you another example. Brady Singer's ERA right now is a .68.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, it's going to change eventually. But, I mean, in 2 starts alone, he has 14 strikeouts. And, I mean, I feel like this is a talented depth team. Now, listen, I'm not saying that this team's just going to win 86 games and they're just going to go into the playoffs. A lot can happen in the next month. You don't know.
And
the
also,
Royals are going on a 15-game losing streak.
It's so hard to talk about these teams who you don't know about or you predict to play like shit and they start off well. It's so hard because what are you gonna do? Base an entire 162-game season off 15 games? That's the reason why baseball's 162 games. That's how you really figure out who's good and who's not because you play every single fucking day for 6 months, 7 months. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
It tests your depth. It tests the balls the guys have in the locker room. It tests everything.
I know that feeling all too well, man. As a Mets fan, we start hot every year and we're 11-1 one year.
I mean, look, it's baseball of all sports. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And of course, the regular season doesn't mean fucking shit either. No, you could win 108 games and get swept in the first round.
Or Dodgers.
Yeah, every year.
I think teams. Do you think they're finally gonna start realizing maybe that first seed, the home field advantage is great, but honestly, might not be as important, you know.
Honestly,
that's a great point. I would honestly rather be a wild card team than be one of the first 2 seeds.
Let me ask you a question. When was the last World Series in which the best teams
in both leagues
actually made it to the World Series?
No,
I'll actually make that as a trivia question.
I know the Red Sox, I think in 18 won. I don't know about the National League, though.
I don't think the Dodgers were the 1 seed in 18. They were not. I don't think
That's
so.
about the closest, so I can remember.
I don't think they were.
History.
No. They the Brewers played the Rockies, and the Brewers won the Central, but they won the division on the last day. No, the Brewers were. The Brewers were the 1 seed in the NL because they beat the Cubs in game 1. They beat the Cubs in game 163, and then they played the Rockies in the DS, who won the wild card round. So that means
that's
the Brewers
about the
won
closest, though, I can think of.
Not 16. The Indians were the 2 seed in the AL. I think it was 2013. Red Sox Cardinals. I think it was 2013. I literally think it was then. No. Okay. No, 2020. If you want to count that, Dodgers and the Rays.
No,
excluding 2020.
2013 then. Red Sox Cardinals were the best teams in each league. 2013.
Gotcha.
Wait a minute. You know what? I'm thinking 2017.
No, the Astros were not the 1 seed that year.
They weren't.
Nope.
No.
That was when the Indians won 22 straight games. They were the 1 seed.
So
because the Yankees won the wild card game that year.
Here's my thing. So wait, hold on. So 2016.
We're getting off track here.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta lock in again. So we're getting very off track.
Yep. It was 2013. You got it.
Bingo.
Now we're gonna get into a real serious topic, and that's something that I brought up earlier today.
Ooh, I'm ready for this one. I know exactly what this is about.
No, not yet. Not that one. I forgot actually. Injuries.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm waiting for. I'm ready.
Elbow injuries.
I'm ready.
MLB.
I'm ready to go on a fucking rampage.
All right, you know what? I'll leave the floor to you.
This is not an MLB problem. I'm just going to start off with this, okay? I'm going to make a point about this. Baseball is a game, okay? And this is coming from somebody. I'm 21. I grew up in the era of the 2010s, baseball development in the 2010s. All baseball became about, to kids my age and probably the next generations, pitchers throw as hard as you fucking can. Hitters hit the ball as hard and as far as you can. It's no longer a game anymore. And I feel like, and that was my mindset until about a year ago. But this is a fucking game. It's not a brute strength competition. It really isn't. Why does every single pitcher need to throw 100 miles an hour to be good? None of you guys, nobody has fucking words. Nobody even has fucking words. Do you mean to tell me that somebody can't hit a fastball at 100 miles an hour? It's coming straight at you. It doesn't move. I bet you if somebody threw a baseball 100 miles an hour at me 100 times in a row, I bet you by around the 90th time I could probably hit it. And I could probably see it really well by then. Why is baseball a brute power and brute strength sport now? It makes no sense. You know how big your ulnar collateral ligament is in your elbow? Go look up the size of it. Go look it up. I swear to God. It's like fucking...
Wait, what is it?
Your UCL in your elbow. It's not even an inch. Do you think that little tiny ligament is meant for you to pick up because yes, a baseball, but a baseball is essentially a fucking rock. Okay? So pretty much we're being barbaric here. Pick up a rock and sling your arm back and forth as hard as you can.
It's 32 millimeters.
Now, add the pitch clock. You got to do it as many times as you can. Pretty much you have, let's say, about a 20-second turnaround between pitches. Mm-hmm. Starting pitchers are throwing 100 pitches. Okay, now, let's talk about the art of pitching. A pitcher used to be able to throw 8 innings, going to the 9th maybe, and their pitch count would be around 110. Maybe they push to 120. You used to see guys go 130 pitches. Now we'll see guys get taken out of the game. Their pitch counts are at 100 pitches plus. It's the 5th fucking inning. Tyler Glasnow is my biggest example. Look at the 2020 playoffs when he pitched. He was at 100 fucking pitches in the 4th inning. And he wasn't pitching terrible. It was like, oh, he gave up 5-6 runs. No, every count was a 3-2 count. Every batter saw 6-7 pitches. Nobody's throwing strikes. Why does every pitcher need to throw 1,000 miles an hour, spin the ball as hard as possible, as humanly fucking possible? This isn't baseball, bro. This isn't a thing for MLB to fix anything. This is on whoever's instructing baseball to the youth and whoever's instructing baseball to anybody who's coming through high school, college, the minors. Pitching's an art. To be a good pitcher, you don't need to spin the ball. What's the average RPM for a pitcher who throws around 98, 97? Like 26, 27, 2800? Mm-hmm. You don't need to spin the baseball that hard, bro. You really don't. You don't need to throw 100 miles an hour every single pitch. That's not baseball. It's not. It's really not. That's what baseball's become about. Pitchers throw as hard as you can, and hitters go up there and swing as hard as you fucking can. That's not baseball. It's not. Hitters are starting to realize that striking out and swinging as fucking hard as you can isn't really working anymore. Is it? Strikeouts have gone down in the last 3 years. Yes? Yep, have you noticed that? Yes, 100%. Guess what? Batting average was up last year. Guess what? Batting average is up. Balls and plays are up. And you know what that's done to baseball? Viewership is up. That's baseball. That's why. Baseball isn't everything is a double or a home run coming off the bat at 110, 120 miles an hour, or a fucking strikeout because a pitcher's throwing a wipeout curveball or he's throwing 110 at your fucking eyes. That's not baseball. It's just not. Sorry for the rant, but it's not baseball what's going on right now. It's not. I mean, it's going to take 3-4 years to adjust to it. Hitters are going to be overpowering the game for, I'd say, the next 3 years, right?
Yep.
During that adjustment period, the hitters will be, you'll see 10, 15 guys hitting 40 home runs a year. But it'll take a couple of years, but pitching will be back. It'll be back. But it's a wake-up call. Every year, there's 5 of the best 10 starting pitchers are out. Every year.
You know what I noticed?
Go look at every single pitcher who's hurt right now. Off the top of the brain, who can you say? DeGrom? Scherzer?
No, Scherzer's got a back injury.
Oh, okay. My bad. My
Cole.
bad. DeGrom.
Spencer Strider.
Ohtani. Bieber. No, I'm talking about pitchers who have been out already.
Okay.
We can add Bieber to that mix, but let's think about who walked into this year. No, I'm not fucking pitching.
Yuri Perez.
Sandy Alcantara. Yuri Perez. It's ridiculous, bro. It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
What's Verlander got? Is that elbow related?
Yeah, but he's coming back.
He'll be back soon. It's no Tommy John.
You're just talking about Tommy John, okay?
It's like, is this not alarming to everybody that no pitcher can stay on the field for a longer period of time than 1 year? Tell me the last time you saw, besides Garrett Cole, when was the last time you saw your favorite superstar pitcher stay on the field, stay healthy, and not hit the IL one time in a 2-year period? Because I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't.
Verlander.
He was on the IL with the Mets last year. He's on the IL right now.
Oh, within the last few years?
No, I'm just saying, when was the last time you saw one of the best pitchers in baseball stay healthy for 2 years?
It's got to be
Clayton Kershaw.
18, 19, back-to-back side.
Kershaw when? When was the last time Kershaw was healthy for a full year? For 1 full year. Fuck 2.
His MVP year.
That was 10 years ago.
That's giving you names.
No, dude. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying this is how pathetic it is.
Jacob deGrom.
It's been 10 fucking years since Clayton Kershaw's been healthy. Jacob deGrom. He hasn't been healthy since fucking 18, the COVID 19. Year, bro. Yeah, this is stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. What's the point? What's the point of a team paying a pitcher more than giving him a contract more than 2-3 years? What's the fucking point? Anymore. They're gonna get hurt. There's no fucking point. There's no fucking point. There's absolutely no fucking point. And this brings up a whole nother topic. Pitchers are commodities. They're not your superstars. They're not your franchise players. They're commodities. They're good when they're good, but they're gonna get fucking hurt.
I agree 100%. You can't give a free agent pitcher more than a 3-year deal these days. You can't.
Yo, shake my fucking hand, bro. Thank you. I've been fucking saying this for years. You can't fucking do it. You can't fucking do it. It's the game. Yo, the art of pitching is fucked. It's fucked. It's so fucked.
Look at that DeGrom contract.
Okay. Let's be honest here. You got 13-year-olds in fucking velocity programs. Why? They're not even 5'5" yet. They're 140 pounds. Why are you in a velocity program? You haven't, no offense, you don't even have hair on your balls yet. Why are you in a velocity program? This is the problem with baseball. It's the development. It starts from the time they're in middle school. I've seen it with my own eyes. This is the problem. Everything is as hard as, and everything's about velocity and intensity. It doesn't have to be about that, man. End of story. I'm done talking about this. I'm done. I'm completely done. No more words.
Let's just move on to the next topic.
All right, one last question.
That was a good 15 minute rant.
I want you to name the top 8 velocity four-seam fastballs in MLB this year.
This year.
You have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 American leagues and
Are we guessing the player or the pitch?
player.
Is Diaz
It's
on
four-seam fastball.
there? Relievers too.
It's relievers and.
I'm not
starters.
putting Jordan Hicks up there. He's been
How
starting.
about Edwin Diaz?
Edwin Diaz is not on the list.
Class A.
Class A is 7.
Duran.
Durant is
He's
number
not
1.
He's hurt. Right?
I thought Durant hasn't played this year.
No, it's just last year.
Oh, this is
last
last year.
This is last year.
So
Um,
that's why Diaz is not. Duran's got to be.
Duran is definitely.
I'll give you.
Bednar. Oh, Ryan Helsley.
How about the
Ryan
ball?
Helsley? How about Ryan
Camilo
Helsley?
DeVault?
No.
No Helsley?
No.
Wow.
So one player is out for the season.
No.
One
DeGrom.
player.
DeGrom.
One
2
player.
stars.
Used to be a superstar,
DeGrom.
and another player recently signed last year but got traded.
DeGrom.
No.
No DeGrom.
How about Camilo Duvall? Is he anywhere on that list?
Duvall is
So we're guessing the top 4,
not
Top
even in the
4.
top 20.
and we've
Really?
only guessed one.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Who is it?
Who could
Duran?
it possibly
Duvall?
be besides Yohan Duran? If it's not Class A, okay, I'm just gonna throw it out
Josh
there.
Hader?
Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks is number 2.
Josh
Okay.
Hader on there
Okay.
at all?
Hader is not on the list.
I wasn't gonna say Hicks because at first I thought we were talking about this year.
All right, I'll give you another bigger hint. One of the pitchers is
Bednar.
from the American League East.
How about Matt Brash?
Ooh, no, he's a big curveball guy. American League East. Oh, Felix Bautista.
Yes,
There
he's
you go.
third.
There you
you
go.
go.
Oh,
So that's-
I
we
can't
got
believe I
2?
didn't say that. That's the guy who's out for the year. Okay.
So we got 2,
Um,
right? We got 2.
One player is from the Dodgers.
Starter or reliever?
Starter.
Oh,
Ooh.
I was gonna say Graterol, but now that you say starter, Bobby Miller.
Miller.
He's
yeah.
Bobby
4.
Miller.
Number
Yep,
5
this
is from the American League Central.
American League Central, number 5.
And he's not
It's not
Yohan
Class A.
Duran, and he's not MAO Class A.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't want to say James Karinchak.
No.
I don't want to
Is
say.
he on the
okay.
Tigers? Don't tell me.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Cole Reagans.
Nope.
No.
You're on the right team now.
Aroldis Chapman.
That's well, he's not on the Royals
Technically
anymore,
was.
but
But
he's
he
6.
was on the Royals.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it
But
wasn't
so we're
Chapman.
talking about somebody on the Royals.
Yes.
Motherfucker,
Shit.
bro.
Who last year? Who was
The
on the Royals?
fuck? I'm looking right now.
No, you can't look.
Okay.
You have to guess.
I'm guessing a reliever on the 5th place fucking team. Why am I doing that?
Carlos Hernandez.
Yes.
No.
No, it
Are
is.
you serious?
He's 5th.
What the fuck was that?
Yes, it's
You
true.
pulled that one out of your ass? Where the fuck
I
that
just
come
heard he was
from?
the closer this year.
All right, last one.
Jesus.
He was on one of the worst teams last year, and he got traded to
God.
one of our favorite teams.
Jorge Lopez. No.
No,
Nah.
he's on your team now.
Right.
Currently, he's on the Mets.
Yes.
What?
He
Who got traded to the Mets last year?
He's a reliever.
Yes.
Who did the Mets pick up?
Brooks Raley. It's good.
No.
No fucking way.
I'll say he doesn't throw hard.
Like
How do
what?
I not know? I gotta get this one.
And it's not Jorge Lopez.
It's not Jorge Lopez.
He was on a different team last year.
Yes, he was.
And is he still on the Mets?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Jesus, what the fuck are we
What's
talking about?
wrong? Good Diaz.
You want another hint?
And you're a Mets fan,
I
you can't
shouldn't
even
need
get
a
this
hint.
one.
I
What the
shouldn't
fuck
need a
am I
hint.
doing? Wait.
Diaz, the closer. Fucking Ottavino was there last year.
Yeah, Ottavino ain't throwing nothing.
No.
He's a
Hanging
reliever.
sliders.
He's a reliever for the Mets that the Mets picked up at the deadline last year.
They picked him up early in the season, I think.
This year?
Last year.
Oh, last year. It wasn't David Robertson, obviously. He don't throw that hard.
He threw like 91.
Oh my god. He's
Jesus.
still currently on the team.
Yes.
Jeez, man.
Fuck. You can't tell me.
All right, I'll give you a little bit of a giveaway. He was on the A's last year.
On the A's.
What?
Oh, Fujinami. He's not in the major league team, but Shintaro
Well,
Fujinami.
so-
Fujinami did not get traded to the Mets last year. He got traded to the Orioles. He got traded to the
He
Mets
signed
this
with the Mets.
offseason.
Oh,
signed-
okay.
he was
I
a
was
free
That's where you fucked my head
Yeah.
up. I was like,
All right.
who's on the Mets
So,
last year?
Number 1 is Duran, which is 101.8. Hicks is 100.3. Batista's 99.5.
And this was
Bobby
on
Witt-
average.
This is average for four-seam fastball.
Oh,
Diaz
I thought
would
you
have
said
been
the
on that
hardest
list.
pitches thrown all year. That's
Diaz
that's
can-
another.
No, this is average for four-seam fastballs
Oh.
from last year.
Okay, this is
How
good.
about 2022?
2022.
Diaz number 1.
Diaz got to be up there.
Uh,
I know Chapman wasn't up there because he had a horrible year in 22.
2022 was
Chapman, Duran, probably Clase. Because Clase was chucking 100 at that time.
DeGrom,
It won't
Diaz.
let me.
DeGrom, yeah, DeGrom and his, how many starts? 10? 10 that year?
10 to 12.
10. All of September. All of September that year.
2022.
For whatever the issue was.
Evan
really
Diaz
fucked
was
you guys.
8th.
Damn.
And DeGrom was 11th.
What? Oh, well, that makes sense. He just started.
Munoz was 2nd.
Who's number 1?
Okay,
Clase?
I can't
Duran
believe
is number 1.
I can't believe nobody guessed Munoz.
Ryan Hensley was
John
5th.
Jackson Jr.
Helsley. There's he.
P. Fairbanks was 9th.
P. Fairbanks. Oh my God.
Gregory Soto was 13th.
Oh great, the Cubs are down 2-0.
So yeah, there you go. Those were the top 10. Now I'm gonna get into my take as far as this. I'm going to, even though Ted's rant really got me, really just made my whole month. But I really think they should change the pitch clock. I said this last year. I know time. Okay, so what if a game is 3.5 hours? You're going there to have a good time to watch your favorite baseball team. I get that. I understand that. But
You're on point.
But here's the thing also. When was the last pitcher that actually threw over 120 pitches and actually got a complete game shutout?
It's a very rare thing, though.
Exactly.
No,
It's
Johan Santana did it.
extremely rare.
Do you want to know something? I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Literally the only person I could literally think of off the top of my head that actually had a complete game or did something really cool was Edwin Jackson when he threw his no-hitter. When he threw
Santana
140 pitches.
132 pitches.
Where is this coming from? Think about guys that were slow pitchers and that are effective and that throw at least. Oh, you got the answer?
No, I'm gonna pull up a motherfucking ridiculous stat. Okay.
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 Go ahead.
In 1994 and 1995,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say combined, but in both years, Greg Maddux threw 10 complete games. Both years. Okay. Now, last year.
I can't wait for this.
Last year. How many players threw 5 complete games?
None.
1.
0. Nobody even had 4. Nobody even had 4. There were 2 players that had 3. That's it. That's fucking it. Look at the leaderboard. How many
None.
You can count this on your fingers and your toes how many guys had complete games last year. Ridiculous.
But let me
You
ask you a
cannot
question.
even it's not
Okay.
even a thought in your brain your
Okay.
pitcher's going to go 9.
So let me ask you a question. Is it because of the talent that we have in the league now as far as hitters?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's because of the pitchers.
It's all about pitching.
Development,
It's
too.
all about pitching philosophy.
So,
All pitching philosophy is nowadays is throw the damn fastball as hard as you freaking can and spin the damn slider, spin the damn curveball
So let
as
me
hard
ask
as
you
you
a
can.
question.
And you know what? You get shot after 4 innings. You're done. You've probably thrown 80 pitches after 4 innings.
so let me
That's
ask
on
you,
average now.
So let me ask you this: Do you think we'll see the Red Siren and it'll say Paul Skeens Tommy John surgery in year
Wouldn't shock me.
2026?
I pray to God no, but if we're talking in
surprise me.
actuality, Bobby Miller,
Probably.
Do you want to know
Bobby
who
Miller,
I think?
Paul Skeens, all these fucking.
Can I just
all these
say
fucking guys.
who I think the first player that would have been in this perfect topic, but may he rest in peace, Jose Fernandez. Think about the velocity he was throwing.
He's throwing 95, but 95 was what 100 is. What 100 is today is what 95 was back in 2015.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Realistically,
But here's another thing also. Think about Chapman. I get it, he's up in age. But he was throwing, I think he threw 103, thinking But think about this. He never had Tommy John surgery.
What did I say to you
Only
this morning?
because he was a relief pitcher.
that's what I said to you this morning, right? So the way pitching is designed is that your starting pitcher is supposed to be a guy who's gonna fuck
Give you
everybody's
length.
heads up.
Supposed to give you
He's supposed to have 3, 4, 5 pitches. He's gonna use all of his pitches. He's just fucking with your head. He's coming to different spots, different locations. He's gonna give you length. He's not in there to throw. He's not there to overpower everybody. Like we said, literally when we were in high school and around 2016, 2017, a starting pitcher that threw 95 was kind of a big deal. Now a starting pitcher that throws 95 is like, oh, okay, that's average, that's normal. Your 5-star that throws 94, 95 now. It's ridiculous, bro.
Crazy.
relief pitchers back in the day, it makes sense why a relief pitcher throws 98, 99, 100. Because they're just coming into the game to give you three, maybe 4 or 5 outs. Of course, you're throwing 30, 40 pitches, maybe. Of course you're going to come in the game and try and throw as hard as you can. Because you're not going to be in there for that long. If you can throw 100, okay, you're only throwing 20, 30 pitches, might as well, right?
Okay, so here's another list. This is last year's list among left-handed pitchers who had the highest average speed for a four-seam fastball.
Chapman's got to be number 1.
Chapman's number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we'll do the top 7. So 1, 2. So 2 starters, and the rest are 1, 2. Yeah, 3. 3 of them are starters, and 4, and the rest of them are relief pitchers.
Is Tariq Skubal on there?
Tariq Skubal is 9th.
We're talking fastball velo, right?
This is four-seam fastball velo.
On average.
On average. This is from last year.
Cole Reagans.
Cole Reagans is 7th.
Okay. Let's give this one a whirl.
Josh
Garrett Cole.
No, I said
Just
left-handers.
Oh, left-handers.
This is
okay.
left-handers.
Josh Hader
I
on
didn't
there?
hear that.
Josh Hader is not on the list.
Wow.
Josh Hader is...
So we're guessing the top 4.
Top 4.
No, this is top
We
7.
got Chapman already.
Chapman. You got Hader. Hader's not on the list. Cole Reagans. Let's see.
2 of them are on the Marlins.
Tanner Scott.
Oh, Jesus Luzardo?
And Tanner Scott.
Yes.
Okay.
So we got 3.
One of them's on the Phillies. One
Gregory
of them...
Soto.
Yes, he's another. Are you looking at my list?
No, I'm not.
Okay. One's on the Orioles, and one is on the Rays.
The guy in the Orioles is a starter or reliever?
Reliever.
The Rays. Lefty in the
McClanahan.
McClanahan.
Duh.
And the Orioles.
Left-handed reliever for the Orioles.
It's not Aiken, is it?
No.
Aiken.
No. I don't know. I can't even fathom this one. I really had no idea who was coming out of
DL
this.
Hall.
No, DL Hall. DL Hall wasn't. He wasn't there for
with
much.
Okay.
I don't think he was starting.
I
Either.
don't think he's. Yeah. No. The
The
starter.
left-handed relief pitcher for the Orioles. This is where you
Was a-
fucked me
was
up.
a reliever. Okay.
You guys give up?
Yeah, I give up.
Seasonal Perez.
I would have never got that. I don't think.
But here's the velocity average. Are you ready for this? I don't rant until I finish. Aroldis Chapman was a 99-mile-per-hour fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory Soto was a 98.8. Shane McClanahan was a 96.8. Tanner Scott was a 96.8. Seasonal Perez was a 96.8. Luzardo was a 96.7. Reagans was a 96.5.
Hello? Do we not see the ding, 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 ding? Do we not see the problem here? Left-handed pitchers, and this was a big deal when I was growing up. Left-handed, if you're a lefty, you don't have to throw that hard. Yo, there's left-handed starting pitchers in the game that are averaging 96. It's insane, yeah, sure, but
A lot of people talk about
these
arm
guys
slots,
aren't
too.
gonna pitch for 15 years.
You don't have to pitch that hard.
You're not gonna pitch for 15 years like that, bro. You're not.
If you have a certain arm slot and release point, it can make it look like it's coming a lot quicker. You don't need to throw fucking 98 miles an hour.
So
It's
out
like-
of all pitchers pitchers, out of all 4 pitchers, there's 85 here that have the lowest four-seam fastball. Do you want to know who it is?
Bartolo Colon.
No. For lefties. Brett Suter.
He's a good reliever, too.
86 miles an hour.
He's a decent reliever.
And is he effective? Yes or no?
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Bingo. Again, keep going.
The second lowest is Rich Hill at 88.4.
He's about 105 years old. so
Hyun-Jin
okay.
Ryu is 88.6. Kyle Freeland is 88.8.
Well, Kyle Freeland sucks, so.
Marco Gonzalez is 89.
Another one.
Um,
Another one.
Brooks Raley is
He's effective.
89.7.
Brooks Raley is very, very good.
Tyler Anderson's a 90.1.
I'm not going to lie, I did not pay
Kershaw
attention
is a 90.7.
He has like a sub-2 ERA.
Kershaw never threw hard. Look at him.
He's always
Look
good.
at him. Look at him.
Justin Steele's at a 91.8.
Another one.
Steele's
He was in the Cy Young race till then.
What ended up happening with him with that injury on opening day?
Oh, I think he's just fat and out of shape. I'm not going to lie. It's my ace, but kind of just took a few steps forward and pulled his hamstring. I think a lot of these pitchers are also out of shape.
Sean Manaea was a 93.6.
He looks good so far.
Chris Sale was a 93.9.
Mm-hmm.
Max Fried was a 94.
That makes sense.
Max Fried really as good as everyone thinks.
I think so.
Carlos Rodon was a 95.3.
His velo went down.
And Snell's was a 95.5.
His
And
went
Snell
down too.
is 15th.
You know what, man? Like I said, I think a reliever who can chuck straight gas at you 98, 99, 100, that's a different story. I mean, that's been a part of baseball for a long time. But at the end of the day, like you said, you're coming into the game. Your job's to get 2, 3, maybe 4 outs. Okay, go give it a whirl.
You used to have guys pitch 10 innings, man. Like Jack Morris did it once.
But, like, most of these guys who threw hard back, like, actually, did any of you see the most recent Justin Verlander interview? He kind of went on, like, a 3-minute rant. He said, I wasn't doing velocity programs. He said, I didn't even throw hard till I was in college, and it wasn't because I was doing anything. It's because I matured into my body. That's what he said. And you know what? What was Justin Verlander throwing his early Detroit days? He was throwing like 101 into like the 8th inning, and he said he didn't even try and throw hard. He said he just grew into it. I mean, that's kind of just what baseball is it not? Now you got kids like me, 5'6", trying to gash you up at 90 when they're in high school. I mean, sure, it's cool until you're 20 years old underneath the knife.
So to get off a little topic. John Heyman tweeted, Tony Kemp was DFA'd to make room for Holliday, true sportsman.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean...
Tony Kemp. Do you remember that catch that he made?
Yep.
And the announcer goes, Kemp!
Yeah. He's kind of been a weird one. He's been the utility guy.
So, but, all right, so now I'm going to get back into my little rant on this starting pitching. In my opinion alone, by the way... I know that starters tend to throw it back to pitchers, but really, you're going to give them 3 opportunities to throw it back. I think it should be 4.
For what?
Like when they want to throw it back to a base.
Oh, you mean
especially
pickoff
first base? Yeah, pickoff moves.
No, I think that's fair.
Hold on. Excuse me. But here's the thing. I think, in my opinion, if you increase the pitch clock to 25 seconds for nobody on, and then do 21 seconds when there's a runner on.
It's the opposite. It's supposed to be longer with the runner on.
With the runner on?
Yeah,
then do 25. So then do 25 seconds.
25 with a runner on and 20 with nobody on.
No, I was gonna say 25 without the runner on.
That's an increase of 10 seconds though, because it's only 15 seconds with nobody on.
Okay, so an increase in 10 seconds is really gonna matter for a game and when they want to watch it.
Yeah. The problem that, again, I was one of the biggest motherfuckers against the pitch clock. The reason why is because a motherfucker like, what was his name? The big fat guy in the dock.
Oh
Pedro Baez. Or Pedro, yeah, whatever.
Pedro Strop?
No, Baez. Or I don't even remember what his first name was. But he took 31 seconds in between pitches, and that was the longest in baseball. Nobody was taking 30 seconds except him. And he was brutal to watch. He was brutal. He took 30 seconds between every single pitch. Brutal. Horrible. I'm not going to lie. Even coming from me, that was terrible to watch.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think 15 seconds in between pitches it's kind of rushed.
But that's what I'm saying. Because you're literally setting, when you have a runner on, you only have, like, think about
18. They shortened it to 18
but
this
think
year.
about that. You have 18 seconds.
That's brutal.
Literally for your pitch to come and for you to throw it, especially for a fastball.
You're throwing a fastball at 100 miles an hour and they give you 15 seconds to reset and throw it and do it again. Okay, look, here's another argument that started. People are saying the pitch clock is the reason, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fair enough. I understand the point. However, when did the true epidemic of Tommy John surgery start? I don't mean when people started getting Tommy John. I mean like the real epidemic when motherfuckers are getting it left and right.
Probably 2021. 2022.
2020, 2019, 2018.
Well, 2020 was because
COVID. Right.
COVID.
But there was a shit ton of guys getting Tommy John that year. A shit ton.
19.
Syndergaard, Sale, the list goes on. That's when the epidemic started. And that was pre-pitch clock. However, the pitch clock does not help at all. No way this helps.
So let me ask you a question.
No way.
Now. What about the pitchers from the Rays? Think about this. Jeffrey Springs, who was having an outstanding year, had to get Tommy John surgery.
The Rays philosophy.
What about Shane McClanahan? He was
Rays
having
philosophy.
another great.
Rays philosophy. Their philosophy is spin the ball like a and it's all around. It's not even just pitching. Their offense, you saw what they were doing a couple years ago. They were setting up screens about I think they were about 10 feet high on all three sides of the field and making sure that every player would hit the ball at a specific angle. They were focusing specifically on launch angle. Why? It's stupid analytics. Okay? I like analytics. They make sense. If you put way too much of an emphasis on them, you're gonna fuck yourself.
You're gonna start having.
You're gonna fuck yourself. You're gonna fuck yourself.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think? I will say this. So when it really comes down to it, like when you think about like these superstars that we were growing up seeing, Madison Bumgarner, Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer,
right.
Jacob deGrom. Give me some other names.
You talking pitchers?
Tim Lincecum.
No, not that far back.
Whoa.
Not that far back.
Whoa. Take for example,
Chris Sale,
John Lester.
Like all those guys. Like those guys were very effective during the mid 2010s.
They weren't throwing 100. Were
They weren't throwing 100 miles an hour.
Especially the left-handed guys.
Even DeGrom.
Kershaw was topping out around 94 when he won the MVP, I think.
Even DeGrom
But
was
here's
throwing
the
like
crazy
96,
part.
97. When he
Let me ask you a question.
Say that again. Say that one more
He was throwing
time.
96, 97. He was the best pitcher in baseball.
What was he throwing both years he won Cy Young?
96, 97. Then he's throwing 102. The next
Next thing you know, he comes out in 2021. He's throwing 102 miles an hour,
Oh.
and his arm blows up every other week.
So
It's crazy.
Here is the problem, I think, also, when it really comes to it. I really think also is that when it came to 2020, I get it. Everybody lost money. I get it. But what was the one thing that everybody pretty much had? Viewership. If you had guys that were throwing harder, then people would be like, whoa, he's throwing 100 miles an hour. I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
When it came to 5 to maybe even 10 years ago, when you really think about it, too, no matter the viewership, it was also because the reason why a lot of the viewerships came was because we were still having generational stars still playing. David Ortiz. We were having Buster Posey playing. Derek Jeter was still playing. And then we had the upcomers.
Or young Mike Trout.
We had the young
early
Mike Trout.
Bryce Harper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had that. But for right now, we're kind of stuck in this like crumbled up like generation thing. You have the young guys, you have the older guys, you had the mid guys, and then you had these upcomers. So it's all crumbling into literally into a ball.
I think the game changes and it always evolves. The game continues to, and it will always continue to get better. The game will get better. It will be 10 times better in 20 years than it is today. However, think about it like this, right? What do you think a guy like J-Rod would have done if he played in 2010?
I think he would.
I think he would have a Triple Crown by now.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What if a player like Ronald Acuna was playing?
Same thing.
Same thing. He'd probably already
It's
have.
crazy,
He'd probably
the
have 2 or
influx
3
of young
MVPs
talent.
already.
I will say this.
It's crazy.
And I know you probably disagree with me on this.
Mhm.
I really think when he came up to the league,
Acuna?
I really think the narrative of baseball changed.
That's around.
You
the
mean
time,
around the
yeah.
period? I think the period of time where baseball changed was
Because when you really
right around
think-
that period, 18 and
Yeah,
19.
right
I think
when
that
he
I
came.
think that was the mark of the next generation of
because
baseball.
who also
You had
came
the
up
juice
that year?
balls in 19.
Juan Soto. But let's keep the ball rolling. Who came up the next year?
Judge.
No.
No.
Judge the year before. Tatis and Pete Alonso.
Pete
Keep the ball rolling. Who came up in 21?
21.
21 was. Oh damn!
Come on.
I'm trying to think.
21. Fuck.
was.
Just think of all the talent that's come up in the game the last 3-4
There's
years.
so much of it.
Just think.
Rutschman came
Julio.
up in 22.
Just keep going backwards. Think about last year.
I know
the year
Rutschman
before.
came up in 22.
Uh-huh.
Julio didn't come up in 21.
Julio came up in 22.
It's
Okay,
22.
Corbin Carroll was last year. Think about all these guys. Think about the
Wander Franco came up in 21.
Yep.
That was it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That was Wander Franco, and he was. How good was he in
Look at all
21?
these
He was the
players,
best
man.
player on the team that
Tatis,
would
Soto,
look like they were
Acuna.
going to make a charge for the World Series.
crazy.
They didn't, but they looked like they were going to make a charge for it.
They did.
Yeah. The game keeps getting better, and it always will.
It's gonna.
It
all right.
always will.
So then, what about so now I think are we getting now into the pitching standpoint as far as
Pitching is
upcomers?
going to hit an all-time low.
Yeah.
Probably with. I'm not going to say this year, but I'm saying
In the next 2
in
to 3 years.
the last week, I think baseball has finally gotten its really big wake-up call that it's finally time to figure out what's going on with pitching. Pitching as a whole. It's not the MLB. It's not just the pitch clock. It's not just these guys. It starts.
pitching.
It starts from Little League. It starts from these fucking stupid velo programs. It starts from a young age, and it's gonna change. But what do you think's gonna happen during that transition period? You think guys are just gonna adjust and everything's gonna change by this year? They're not.
No.
I promise you, pitching as a whole will not change.
Was
This year.
Torkelson called up in 21?
No, opening day 22.
Bobby Witt,
No,
22.
22.
Keith Brian Hayes,
He was
20
up for
2020.
a while. Yeah.
2020.
Kalanick.
We're. I mean, we can kill that conversation. I wasn't trying to do too much trivia, but
But you see what I mean. What I'm saying is like even players from when we were growing up, they were never getting Tommy John surgeries. Let me ask you a
they
question.
were, but it was very seldom, right? How seldom was it? It'd be like what if one of the best players in the league
Be
got
like
Tommy
a
John,
catastrophe. Be like, oh my god.
everybody would go, and I mean everybody was going berserk. Everybody was going crazy. But you know what? Now, Shane Bieber, Tommy John, and Strider maybe, and we're all like, damn, that
remember
really sucks.
back when, like,
And
Matt
and
Harvey
guess
had
what?
it.
We'll probably wait like 2 or 3 weeks, and somebody else will probably have it.
Everyone
That's
knew
the
about it,
difference.
like you
That's the
said back
difference.
then.
Could you imagine if Max Scherzer was having Tommy John surgery in the mid 2010s, like around 15, 16, 17 times?
That would be the story. That would be the story of the season.
It would have blown the whole baseball world up into smithereens. But
Remember
Spencer
when Matt
Strider
Harvey-
gets Tommy John surgery this year. We're all gonna be like,
Yeah,
damn,
not
that
surprised.
really. We're all gonna be like,
Think about
we're all
this.
gonna be like,
Think
oh
about
damn, that
this.
sucks, man.
Hold on. Think about this. As a regular baseball fan, do you think I'll give you guys a great question for a little homework thing. Go to your parents, to your father specifically. Ask them if they know who Shane McClanahan is.
They don't.
They're not.
I'm telling
Exactly.
you,
They
I'm
don't.
telling you.
So Shane McClanahan, who started the All-Star game who was supposed to start the All-Star game, or did he start
You
last
can get
year?
it
I
live.
don't know.
I'll call my
He's
dad
been
right
an
now.
ERA leader in the first half
But
every year.
here's the thing.
I call my
think
dad
here's-
right now. I'll ask him live on the.
No. Next time. But he was supposed to start during the All-Star game, or I think he did start in the All-Star game last year.
No, Tommy John beforehand. Right before.
But
right
he was
before. He was
He was
supposed
supposed to.
to. ERA leader in the AL.
But
by
think
that point.
about that. Us fans, we were going to be excited. Like, oh my God. Like, an up-and-coming star for the Rays was going to start in the All-Star game.
But look at how. But
Bang.
again, my problem. You know why nobody knows who Shane McClanahan is? Yes, I understand he's on the Rays. Yes, I understand nobody gives a fuck about the Rays. I understand. How many? Okay, Shane McClanahan came up what? 21. Okay.
It was 21.
Okay. How many times has he started 30 games?
Never.
Once.
Never.
No, 0. I think his highest was 28.
Yep.
Or was it 29? It might have been 29.
Yep. Bingo. There's your answer right there. Done. Conversation done. That's why. There you go. Yeah. Bobby Miller should be one of the biggest young budding pitching stars. Dude, it's not gonna happen.
What about
bro?
Walker Buehler?
Look at him. Look at him. He hasn't pitched in 2 fucking years.
Exactly. Dustin May. He's another one.
Yeah, everyone forgot about him. He was supposed to be the next ace of the Dodgers.
about-
What happened to him? He's probably not even gonna have a spot when he comes
The guy
back.
in
Think
the fucking
about
Phillies.
that.
What's the-
Think about all the starting pitchers that are coming. That came
Their careers
from
are
Who
shot.
is
the
on the
Dodgers.
Phillies? Not Andrew Painter, the other prospect. right?
No, it's
It was
Painter.
Painter.
It's
It was
Painter.
Painter.
It's him. Well, he was the number 1 pitching prospect in baseball at 19. Guess what? Guess where he is today? He's hurt. Nobody even remembers. Guys are just doing laps around
Shane
him.
Baz.
Oh, wow. That's a name I haven't heard before. He was supposed to be the shit, too. And where is he? The IL. Hey, yeah.
Micah Bell.
And again, this isn't putting shots at players
Forrest
at all.
Whitley.
You can't make shots at players for getting hurt. They can't control it. Obviously, nobody
I got
wants to get
another
hurt.
great one for you.
Nobody wants to get hurt. But
Brandon
at the same
McKay.
yeah, he just
was on the
made a
Renegades.
start in AA, by the way. But here's the point. It's not a shot at the players at all. You can't blame anybody for really getting hurt. Okay? But do you notice that it's a problem that the young pitching stars in baseball are only known by the people who watch baseball every single day?
No.
You know why? Because nobody knows who these people are because they're never on the fucking field. And what is that coming from?
Hold on, let me ask you another
Pitching
question.
philosophy.
Do you think...
You could have someone who runs.
What about Strasburg? What about Strasburg? Pitched outstanding.
He's been having elbow
in the World
issues.
Series.
He's been having elbow issues since before he got drafted, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's been having big time elbow problems.
I'm trying to
since then,
think
though.
of some other pitchers who, unfortunately...
I mean,
got injured.
don't get it twisted. We can go on pretty much all day with this list. The point's been proven. Starting pitching and elbow injuries are pretty much go hand in hand. If you're a starting pitcher in baseball and you throw harder than 95, 96, I really hate to say this because I hate seeing guys get hurt, and you don't wish that upon anybody. But probability is you're gonna have at least a Tommy John surgery one time in your career. At least one. You
know Lenny Torres? You know he got Tommy John surgery?
Yep, he got Tommy John surgery right after his first season.
Yep.
And he came straight from here.
You want to know something pretty crazy too?
What's up? It's everywhere.
Here's the crazy part. Do you want to know what player's been on my mind for the last 20 minutes that I've been wanting to say who's been very effective?
What's up?
Jared Weaver. Think about the velocity he used to throw.
Oh wow!
And he was the best starting pitcher for the LA Angels.
He was throwing a little bit harder though before he fell off a cliff and started.
But think about that too.
I remember him too.
He's a lefty, right?
Who?
C.J. Wilson.
Yeah. You know what about you want to know something who really faced
Chad Billings.
Do you want to know a player?
Jesus.
Hold on. Do you want to know a player? Actually, I was recently watching a video. If you watch Jolly Olive, remember you know his video that he did with the Braves?
Yep.
I watched
Think about
that
Ian
too.
Anderson.
Kyle Wright.
Do you know how many Tommy John surgeries he's had?
Mike Soroka. Ian
3.
Anderson.
He's had 3 Tommy John surgeries.
And he's I'm pretty sure he's only 25 or 26 right now.
Exactly.
Not many survived. I can only name one person who's ever survived that. Nate Eovaldi. Somehow, some way, under God's grace, he has done that. I don't know how. He is still pitching today. But he is.
He is, though. I think overall, we will say that pitchers need to slow down.
I mean, again, it's not up to us. We could say whatever we want. It's up to the people who are it's up to the people who are running these huge velocity programs. It's up to these pitching gurus. It's up to the pitching coaches in the minor leagues. It's up to all these guys. It's not up to me. My dumbass is gonna sit on the couch and watch baseball regardless.
Only because we enjoy the sport.
But if we want to fix this problem in the game, it's not up to dumbasses like us three. No. It's up to the people who are teaching pitching. It's up to these guys. It's up to the guy who runs a baseball facility who's offering $4,000 velocity programs over the winter. That's who it's up to. It's not up to dumbasses like us.
On that note, with the pitching, I just want to say, unfortunately, I have to break a little early tonight.
Well, we are actually just about to finish anyway, Mr. Matt. So
I might as well stay for that.
So we had some laughs, we had some screaming, we had some words being spoken, we had injuries, but other than that, we have a serious problem on our hands, and it needs to be fixed. Other than that, this is the TMC Podcast. Baseball season goes on. We will see you soon, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Deuces.